Erin here with Strength Through Self-Care, bringing you tips and tools rooted in holistic self-care so we can better support ourselves during COVID-19. Today, I want to talk about how we can use energy and simple mind-body practices to reduce the physical symptoms and physical cues of anxiety in our body. Energy psychology is an umbrella term that refers to a bunch of energy-based therapeutic approaches to reducing emotional distress and physical discomfort in the body. Many of these are rooted in practices and in traditional medicines from various regions around the world, predominantly in Asia. And although they've gained momentum here in the United States in recent decades, it's really important for us to acknowledge that out loud and to express gratitude to traditional teachers and practitioners who've shared this wisdom so that we're now able to integrate it and incorporate it into other practices that we use in therapy. Today in particular, we're going to focus on emotional freedom techniques, also known as tapping. Tapping uses the meridian energy system out of traditional Chinese medicine, which has been used for more than 2,000 years. The sister field to what I'm going to show you today is acupuncture. But instead of using needles, we're going to be using gentle touch, or in this case, light tapping, on a variety of acupoints in the body, in particular those that are in the head, the torso, and the hands. And what we know from research and from experience is that when we gently apply pressure to these points, while also using short statements and phrases to keep an image or a bothersome sensation active in our memory, emotional distress and physical discomfort goes down. So what we're doing again is two things. We're activating energy, and we're also using some language to name the things that are bothering us. We're doing that simultaneously as we tap. Now, because I'm trying to keep these videos short and accessible, I don't think that I could truly do EFT or emotional freedom techniques justice if I were to explore how to use this for emotional distress and for trauma. So what I'm going to focus on today instead is physical discomfort that specifically comes with anxiety. Examples include shallow breathing, racing heart, chest tightness, shoulder tension, nausea or knots in the stomach, or even headaches. So we're specifically going to target physical body-related cues that might result from anxiety and stress. The first thing that I'd like to do is share with you what these 11 acupoints are on the body, show them to you and show them how we're going to tap. And then we'll actually do a practice round, or a few practice rounds rather, with one of these anxiety-related symptoms. The important thing is that you do a symptom that is relevant and meaningful for you. I'm going to choose one just as an example today and walk you through it. But as you go through it with me, please try to focus on the symptom that is bothersome to you. So let's go through the acupoints. When we're doing tapping, we want to remember this is light, gentle tapping. We are not trying to bruise ourselves. We are not trying to have any kind of pain. So you don't want to be slamming your hand into your head or into other parts of your body. We really want to keep this light and gentle, just gentle enough that there's some stimulation and some activation of our energy. The first acupoint is in our hand. If we make a fist, it's going to be this crease that we see here. And what we do is something called a karate chop, where we take our other hand and kind of go like this. That's activating the acupoint in the hand. So that's our first acupoint. After this one, we move to our head. We don't want to be too far forward where our forehead is, so you want to find the crown of your head and then go maybe slightly backward. And we're going to be tapping right there on the head. Next, we move on to our face. I tend to use 2 fingers, or you could use 1. You could use your whole hand, but sometimes, for me at least, that feels a little awkward to do. So I'm going to do 2 fingers. I'm going to do the inner eyebrow next. So that's the next point we're going to tap. And then after that, we actually move to the outside of the eye. Now we're just doing this for a few breaths. It's not super long, but you also want to do more than just a single breath. Next, I'm going to do underneath the eye. Now we're not doing the cheekbone. We really want to make sure we're doing the bone that's right here, kind of where the bags under our eyes are for those of us who are feeling kind of tired. So again, you're going to put just gentle pressure through tapping. Next, we'll go beneath the nose. You can do 1 or 2 fingers here. And then beneath the lip, kind of on our chin, where a little divot is. Then we're going to go to the collarbone. You can do either the right or left side, and you want to go toward the center and kind of find where the bone is jutting out a little bit. And that's where you're going to tap. So you're not going to tap up here where your shoulder is. You're going to tap kind of toward the center on one of the sides. Then we're going to go underneath the arm. This is about 4 inches below the armpit, or for women, it's where the bra strap is. It can be a little awkward to do it on the same side as the hand that you're using for the tapping, so sometimes it might be easier to cross over. But you can definitely do it the other way if you'd like. Next, we have the gamut spot, which is in our hand. If you find your pinky finger and your ring finger and move downward just a bit, you'll feel a spot in your hand where there's a little bit of like a divot, a little valley. So that is going to be our gamut spot that we're going to put some pressure on. And then last but certainly not least, we have the heart hold. We're going to cross one hand over the other on our heart with our thumbs upward. I'm doing right on top of left. And then we take the top hand and just do some gentle tapping. That is 1 full round, and typically we do 3 rounds at a time. So we're gonna go through an example now, and I'm gonna pick a particular symptom that's really common for folks with anxiety, and that is chest tightness. But again, you can pick another physical symptom of anxiety that works for you. We start by bringing the sensation or an image of that sensation to our mind for about 5 seconds and identifying how much it bothers us on a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being the most and 0 not at all. We do this because we want to monitor the number, and our goal is for that number to come down over the course of several rounds of EFT or tapping. We're hoping that it's going to be a 2 or less, but know that it might take a few rounds to get to that point, and that's totally normal. We start round 1, and again, we do 3 rounds at a time. So we start round 1 with a statement that starts with the words, "I'm okay even though," and then names or identifies that symptom that's bothering us. So my example would be, I'm okay even though I have tightness in my chest. We're gonna do that when we do the karate chop. But after the karate chop, as we move through the rest of the Acupoints, as well as through round 2 and round 3, we are not gonna use that setup statement anymore. We're gonna use a shortened reminder phrase that still keeps that thought or that sensation active in our memory, but it's not quite as long as that initial statement. So an example might be tightness in my chest, or chest is feeling tight. So it's just a few words long, nothing too complicated. So we're gonna do 3 rounds. I'm going to say the statement and the reminder phrase out loud for the first round, and then for the second, third round, I'm gonna continue tapping, but I'm just gonna say the phrase silently to myself. You do not have to say it out loud if you're by yourself. You are welcome to silently use your statement and phrase for rounds 1, 2, and 3. And then once we do round 3, we'll come back together to see how the number has changed. So feel free to follow along with me, everyone. And start with the karate chop. This is round 1. I'm okay, even though I have tightness in my chest. Tightness in my chest. Tightness in my chest. Chest feels tight. Tightness in my chest. Chest is feeling tight. There's tightness in my chest. Chest is feeling tight. There's tightness in my chest. Tightness in my chest. I'm feeling tightness in my chest. So now I go on to round 2, doing the reminder phrase in my head. and continuing to go in order with my acupoints. I realize that this can look and feel a little strange at first, but this tapping can be really powerful. And there's research that suggests even just one time of going through this process can be beneficial for us, for stress and even for trauma. Again, right now we're focusing on physical symptoms of anxiety. Now I'm going through my third and final round, still in order, still using my reminder phrase to keep that bothersome symptom active in my memory. So I'm just still focusing on the words, chest tightness, and you can mirror me, or you can use whatever hand feels comfortable for you. I'm using my right hand. And then moving into the final heart hold position. So once we've done those 3 rounds, we bring the bothersome symptom back to mind just for about 5 seconds. Just sort of think about it and imagine it. And then we re-rate using our 0 to 10 scale where it is now, so how much it's bothering us. So let's say we were at a 7 before, maybe now we're at a 4 or a 5. Again, we're trying to shoot for a 2 or less. So if we're not at a 2 yet, what we're gonna do is actually repeat this for another set. And again, one set is 3 rounds. We start with our karate chop and our setup statement. We go through all the acupoints using that reminder phrase, and then we go through them a second time and a third time. And then once again, bring that symptom to mind for 5 seconds and re-rate. You can do this as many times as you need to until you get that number down. If for some reason the number is not going down, a common reason for this is because our mind actually shifted and our attention went to focus on another physical symptom or something else. So that's why we really want to be mindful about the reminder phrase and really trying to focus on that particular symptom. So I hope that you find this helpful. This is a quick and easy tool to activate our energy and to really honor our mind-body relationship, especially as it relates to stress and anxiety. If you want more information, I've provided some websites and info in the description of this video where you can learn a little bit more about tapping from one of the trainers who I actually trained under. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, and God willing, I'll see you next time.